Now this is starting to become one of my go-to channels on YouTube. Fantastic hip hop, dropping quality videos about what is the greatest battle in hip hop and the aftermath and everything, and just hip hop in general. So today we got fantastic hip hop, how everything just got worse for Drake. I'm assuming he'll be talking about the Not Like Us video. I got an announcement to make later on. I got a fresh new cut. Let's go. I'm ready.
Now, as Kendrick Lamar once again has the biggest moment in the entirety of hip-hop as he just released his music video for Not Like Us. The world is once again running around and clowning Drake with all the new material and disses Kendrick threw at him with the visuals in this music video.
See, people broke down this video, but I was waiting for my man Fantastic Hip Hop. You know we was waiting for Fantastic Hip Hop around here. Hip Hop is a sport, ladies and gentlemen. Stop playing.
The same time as Kendrick Lamar has added to this artistic masterclass on how to win a rap beef in unprecedented fashion. Drake has not been doing anything to help his reputation or his career at this point, as from flopping songs to even more artists that were once considered close collaborators turning against him. Somehow, even after everything that's already
I don't think Chris Brown was ever his
friend,
things
are only continuing to get worse for Drake, and where it once seemed like the defeat of this moment was only going to have repercussions on his reputation and credibility within the hip-hop space. In the entirety of the music industry, we have now seen Drake's popularity as an artist plummet in a way where formerly, the most coveted feature in the entire music industry is worth about nothing right now.
This is what I was saying this before too. This is something now, I believe Drake, there's a reason why he's been one of the biggest artists, one of the top hip hop artists for damn near, 2 decades? A decade and some change? No, not 2 decades. So like 15 years, 11, whatever. And if there's anybody who can pull themselves out of this, it's gonna be Drake. I'm gonna say that. I still have faith in Drake. But as of right this moment, y'all can snip this, clip this, whatever. As of this moment, statistically, just on paper, Drake's momentum has slid. Now, we haven't gotten a full Drake song, but the way his features have been charting are not like his songs and features used to be charting in the culture before. And also, beyond the charts, it's the impact. When Drake did a feature with somebody, that was it. Now he's done the Sexy Red feature, did BBL Drizzy, and I'm pretty sure he'll explain it. Both of those songs are charted really low. Wagwan Delina didn't even, so it's looking crazy.
We've of course seen this through Drake and Camila Cabello's collaborations, Hot, Uptown, and Ugly. Which, while these songs already had no impact when they released, as they weren't just some of the most generic sounding Drake cuts we have gotten in a while, but they also just further validated Kendrick Lamar's disses towards him, as he followed exactly what Kendrick said he wanted him to do in his music career following
Who is doing Drake's? People ask me, what's the next thing I'm gonna drop in the name of hip hop as a sport? And we just dropped the official Not Like Us t-shirts. And they are only gonna be around for limited time. There's only limited supply. These hip hop as a sport t-shirts are still gonna be up for probably forever. But those Not Like Us is going down once all of them are gone. So go right now, link is in the pinned comment, go grab one, and I am sending personal thank you videos to each and every person who purchases one for the next 2 weeks. Bro, we've sold over 100 of these, and I got like 25 personal messages left to send. But go grab that, show them they not like us. We are in the greatest moment, greatest era of hip hop if you ask me, and let's celebrate. Moves, man. Whoever is doing these moves for Drake, I'm starting to think these moves were set up for a while, because, man, I wish he would just stop making these moves, bro, because he's making Kendrick look like way righter.
With Camila Cabello's album selling barely over 30,000 copies, and with these tracks being the biggest moments on the entire album, we have directly seen that even with a pop artist who prior to this has already released some major hits and ones that were candidates for Song of the Summer in years past, the Drake stimulus package is not enough to lift a record even with the inherent star power of this magnitude already.
And I don't know if he's going to cover this, but the song that he did with Sexy Red, the dislikes on that song were legendary. More than Sexy Red gets on her own. So at this second, just this second, I'm not saying for the future, I'm not saying the past, just this second, right now, the last Drake features have actually hurt the artist more than helped them. because those artists have dropped things bigger by themselves, which is crazy. I'm still not counting Drake out. It just looks dark.
To the charts at all, and from melodic Drake failing here, to of course rapping Drake embarrassing himself as well recently on Sexy Red's track You My Everything. We have now seen both sides of Drake that in their own ways were always once able to create their own chart.
I won't say this, the rapping Drake. I don't count that Sexy Red rapping over BBL Drizzy as the rapping Drake, because he was even kind of poking fun at himself. The rapping Drake is more like the timestamp, more like most of his records. I'm not going to count that one as him rapping. So far, I feel like we've only gotten the pop Drake, and it's not working.
Returning moments fall flat on their face, and this is something even DJ Academics has acknowledged. And if we are at the point where arguably Drake's biggest cheerleader and stan throughout this entire feud is saying that the thing that used to be the most coveted asset for an artist in a Drake feature no longer has any value, beyond the quality of these songs, which we know has went down exponentially, and their chart failure, which has shown that people are less interested in Drake music as a whole.
Which is
with
crazy.
Somebody who Drake was in conversation with throughout his entire back and forth with Kendrick, now saying that the artist people have accused him of working for no longer provides the value he once did to the entire music world. We are really seeing the tide shift, and beyond just the diminishing status of Drake's music directly. His reputation has only gotten kicked around more recently, because even after Kendrick Lamar's pop-out concert and his Not Like Us music video, already pretty much dismantled any truth left in Drake's diss tracks. Even more lines have been invalidated on Drake's Family Matters, as none other than Chris Brown was seen turning up to Kendrick's Not Like Us out in public, and he wasn't just vibing to the melody, but he was reciting some of the heaviest and most targeted lyrics at Drake in the middle of a public space, and this is just hilarious.
I'm going to keep it, I'm just going to keep it tall. Everybody is turning their backs on Drake right now. Kendrick is my favorite rapper. I got Kendrick winning, obviously. But to act like, I grew up on Drake, bro. Like, Drake is the soundtrack for some of the most important moments of my life, man. I've been watching Drake since before he ever rapped. I've been watching him since Degrassi, bro. Like, so in a way, and there's a lot of people who are turning their back like Drake didn't give us moments that helped us. Boy, niggas getting their first little piece of, you know what I mean? You feel me? With Drake in the background getting their first little piece of songs on, you know what I mean? You can't tell me you ain't riding around when you got your first whip, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas bumping. You finna slide over the, you know what I mean, crib, little shorty, little skit, you finna go out. You thought you was a player when you heard Best I Ever Had, nigga. That's why I hope he could pull himself from this. But like I told people, it's so weird how I feel like a couple months ago, people were saying it was impossible for Drake to fall. And I remember having the argument where I said, bro, I remember Ja Rule. Some of y'all forget how the grip Ja Rule had on the culture. And 50 Cent came and burned the whole thing down. And I said, once I saw that, I knew nobody is bigger than falling off. Nobody's bigger than the program. I still root for Drake, but he lost, and he lost pretty bad, but
he was reciting some of the heaviest and most targeted lyrics at Drake in the middle of a public space.
And a lot of these niggas never liked Drake.
Because another one of Drake's major shout-outs on that track is just laughable, as the same artists Drake tried to get to support his cause have now all turned against him, and honestly,
YG,
this can also
Chris
confirm
Brown.
to us that CB probably would have performed at the pop-out concert as a whole if he was not on tour currently, which would have made for another viral moment. And now, with another one of the guys Drake made some of his...
But it's only for LA. Those West Coast niggas. I get he's basically a West Coast nigga now, but isn't Chris Brown from the South originally? That's why I don't get mad. It was a West Coast rapper celebration. You know, that's why I don't get mad.
Biggest hit songs with in the past 5 years.
Even though Chris Brown is basically a West Coast artist.
That is another major artist who I would not expect to see collaborate with Drake in any capacity for a long time, and now as all of this is happening, what the craziest thing, and something Drake seems to be getting a lot of flack for online right now, was just how everything went down on the day when Kendrick dropped the Not Like Us video, which was of course on the 4th of July, which after seeing the pattern of how Kendrick was moving, and also...
Leave this nigga Drake alone, Kendrick. Okay? I know you ain't doing too much, you just dropped the music video. I get it. But why I feel now, I'm starting to turn back around. I'm starting to feel bad for Drake. I'm starting to really feel bad for Drake. When I said that best I ever had Houston, Atlanta, Vegas thing, it literally took me back where I go, damn, nigga. What does Drake do right now? I don't even know. Because if he's too quiet it's gonna look like niggas quieted him. If he's too loud, it's gonna look like he on copium. I don't know what he.
The rumor that Drake has been planning to release another diss track aimed at Kendrick as a whole when this video did indeed drop. Drake didn't just miss his final chance to shift any bit of the hate surrounding his name or brand for the rest of what is going to be the longest
that would have
summer
been a bad
ever.
idea.
But he missed it by being at Michael Rubin's white party, which just in of itself felt so telling in a way in terms of where both Kendrick and Drake stand. As with Kendrick, he is setting himself up as a voice and champion of the people, as during this major event that so many celebrities, athletes, and artists that so many people criticize for being sellouts are all in attendance at. Kendrick.
The wildest part of it all is every last move Drake has made since this beef has only validated the shit Kendrick was saying. Literally every one. From we like it better when you sing, stop rapping, nigga. It makes it look like Kendrick bullied this. It makes it right now look like Drake is afraid to have a full rap song. It's what it feels like to me. And then when you pop up at the Michael Rubin, the nigga was, and I know this is just ironic, but the nigga was talking about how you not from the culture, how you don't accept your blackness, how you code switch whenever you want to, and not just like regular, but like you'll go back behind the back and talk a certain way when certain people around talk a certain way. And then it's just ironic that you show up at Michael Rubin's white party after that. Oh, God.
Dropped a video where he isn't just clowning one of the guys who was at the top of this culture in the eyes of many people and destroying every single thing that he stands for, but by being in his hometown in the video and being right within his community in so many different locations. In a time where events like the one Drake was at make the world feel more fake and superficial. Kendrick is setting himself apart.
Drake was partying with Jake Paul. My nigga Kendrick went to the Nickerson Gardens and this nigga was with Jake Paul? Ah, man.
Art by just being something that we all want to see more of, which is authentic, and now beyond what this represents in the very moment. And the internet clowning Drake for not just being here, but for also looking like he's aged a ton as he made his first major public appearance since this
now that's
and
just
looked like he has not slept in weeks. What I think is worth noting about this party is that despite how much hate Drake is getting from the larger portion of the hip-hop world, there were a lot of people who are still supporting him here, with a lot of major celebrities just standing by Drake's side, as they are just as delusional as him. But also, what's more important to note about this moment when it comes to the actual future of Drake's music career is that I think we learned about which rappers are gonna stick by his side and be featured on his next album, and which ones may just really be at odds with him after all, because during this party, we saw Drake hanging out with Yeat, who at this point seems like the biggest artist Drake has in his corner, and also Glorilla, who Drake even posted a picture of him with on his Instagram story. And he was also seen performing at the party with Lil Baby. And this is very important because aside from the fact that Lil Baby has been getting a lot of scrutiny over the past few years for releasing...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if that's gonna do it for you. I don't know if them niggas gonna do it for you. Not with the niggas who's against you.
Some of the most boring music that any rapper of his magnitude could. This confirms to us that the story about Drake having some serious beef with another major rapper in the industry who has collabed with him a ton and has multiple hit records with is not Lil Baby, which after being featured on Future and Metro Boomin's second collab album, We Still Don't Trust You, earlier this year, it seemed like there could have been some tension between these two. But now with them performing together, we know that there was no beef between...
I low-key feel like they both are in a slide down right now. I'm not saying they've fallen off, but they're not on a rise, not culturally. So I think they kind of need each other a little bit too. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at the people who are behind Drake. Like I said, I still want Drake to drop dope music. I don't want Drake to just be erased. If Drake never shows up again, there's going to be so many people be happy for some reason. Now, if Drake keeps dropping Wagwan Delilah's and the Camila Cabello features, I'm gonna go ahead and say, maybe take a little break because your mental don't seem to be right now, you know? But I want Drake to be dropping the Drake records that... I love it when Drake rap. I really do. So hopefully he could drop that. Hopefully the reference track stop dropping. Hopefully he starts doing less stuff with references, and just for the sake of showing the culture that he can. You know what I mean? Because I believe he can. He makes it very hard for me to argue, and I ain't gonna lie.
them. And with this being proven false, and now Lil Baby seemingly being one of the few rappers who is publicly supporting Team Drake, that leaves two rappers in question of who may have beef with Drake still.
Who is
and
it?
Based on the report that somebody big in the music industry hates Drake that DJ Academics confirmed to us, the main candidates left are Lil Wayne and Travis Scott, and now both of these rappers were at this same party.
Even though nobody's saying Jay-Z. My mind went to Jay-Z when they first were saying that. But he is about to make a good point here that I didn't... I know exactly what point he's about to make.
Candidates left are Lil Wayne and Travis Scott, and now both of these rappers were at this same party as well. And while we don't have any further news on where any of them stand at this point, I don't think Lil Wayne, despite what Kendrick said on Not Like Us, would turn against the guy who he signed and brought into the industry as historically, even when Drake and Kanye were...
I also believe, I don't think Lil Wayne would turn on Drake, but Lil Wayne did come out and say Glorilla was the only person that came up to him at that party. So it is a little weird that Drake wouldn't be around Wayne, but...
At the height of their beef,
we don't
Wayne
see pictures
never
with them
chose
together.
sides and seemed to embrace both artists, and knowing this, and on top of that, knowing that despite Travis Scott being in so many videos from this party and always pretty much being at the center of any major event, whether he is destroying a DJ booth or is just way more turned up than anyone else, seeing Travis not with Drake once at this party is only adding more fuel to the idea that Drake's subliminal disses on push-ups about him, Metro Boomin, and Future turning up to Like That at the Rolling Loud stage being about Travis directly. And maybe even that Travis and Drake were never as close as we once thought. So
I think it's Travis.
With Team Drake now giving him the roster of Lil Baby, Glorilla, and Yeet. Meanwhile, everyone else is only jumping on the Kendrick Lamar wave more and more as he continues to break records. I think that as the Drake feature no longer holds the value it once did, and the artists left in Drake's corner give him a roster of names behind him that are mediocre at best, we are really starting to see the long-term consequences of this beef for Drake, because the fact that people no longer even want to listen to his songs that are designed to be hits and are criticizing him for things that he was once praised for. Exactly. All in all, it's shown that by Kendrick coming back outside, dissing Drake, but also most importantly about what he pulled off, doing it in a way that is authentic over everything. Kendrick has shifted the tides, not just in hip-hop, but in pop culture at the moment.
Damn.
If we are in a world where people want more of artists who value authenticity and...
This nigga really the boogeyman. That is crazy. Wow. I love Drake for doing this, but I know somewhere in his heart he feels like he should not have done this battle. But I love him for fighting. Kendrick is that's just Ken Kunta, bro. I'm sorry.
Honesty over everything else. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. So with all this said, let me know. What do you think about how the Drake feature has turned into something that is useless at the moment, and how this entire beef is spiraling out into something that has changed the general culture about the entire rap world and music industry at this point? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see how Kendrick Lamar dissed Drake in the Not Like Us music video in some of the most genius ways you ever could, check out the suggested video.
Oh, I didn't know he had a full video breaking down that. I thought this was the video. Okay, so we're going to have to check that out too. Yo, I got a real question that I wanted to ask you people. I'm probably going to put it as the title of the video too. Now, I don't think Drake is finished. Do I think his brand is damaged and he won't be back to the heights, the highest heights that he was? A little bit. I'm starting to believe that. But my question to you, after Drake is failed to chart like he used to pre-battle, do you think Kendrick Lamar damaged Drake's brand irreversibly? Or do you think that he damaged his brand at all? And if so, do you think Drake can recover? I'm going to be super interested to go through the comments and see what y'all say. I'm a little torn. I don't think it's over for Drake, but it's looking like if it was ever going to be over for Drake, it would be right now. So let me know. My single, See You at the Top, is dropping this week, most likely Saturday. Stay tuned.